65% of high potential startups fail due to conflicts amongst co-founders. Roei, Maor, are you guys still friends?
Of course, best friends.
Okay.
Better than ever.
Is it important to be a friend when you're co-founders?
It's mandatory.
Really?
For sure.
Why?
It's about a relationship. Like it starts. We've been friends for a long time, for more than 10 years. So
11.
11.
Who's counting?
11 is heaven.
Yeah. And it's the initial point, it's the starting point for everything. We were in our career, I think, for a long time. We knew, always knew, that we will do something together.
Romantic.
Yeah. And we tried. Maor had a company. I was a game developer. We tried to do something together, two hustlers.
Mm-hmm.
It was small. It was not so much interesting. So, but we always knew that we will do something together.
Why do you think it's so that such a big percentage of companies, let's say 65, 75, 55, but over half of the companies, startups, fail because of the co-founder issues? Why do you think it's so?
So it's a good question. Eventually, when we're talking about companies and corporates, it sounds a little bit alienated, but I like to ground it to the human aspect of it. Eventually, you're building a group of people. And it's you're just getting me bodybuilding tribal leadership. So you're building a tribe or a big tribe of tribes, and it's all about the people, about the relationship. So if the leaders of this tribe are not friends, are not in a good relationship, it's going to trickle down to the rest of the tribe.
Factions.
Exactly. So that's why it's so important to be good friends and respectful and in a good relationship. And this is also the kind of like personal example you want to radiate to the rest of the people that are working with you and following you.
Is it easy to build a company as friends? Or would it be easier to be acquaintances?
It's not easy.
It's not easy to build a company.
It's not easy to build a company.
Okay.
Okay, exactly. That's my answer. Period. But it makes it way smoother and faster if you have trust and friendship between each other.
And respect.
How do you handle conflicts?
With respect.
With respect, yeah. We have conflicts, of course. Every co-founder, every friendship has a conflicts. But I think we're learning. Like from the beginning, it was we were friends, and there are no conflicts because there are no issues to conflict about. But as long as you're scaling and you get more customers and more people in your team, so you have more to discuss and maybe more to disagree, but you have to find a way to talk respectfully to each other and take the honest decision and good decisions for the company. We both understand it. And now it's even easier because we have our leadership team and we have good people around us that can help us with conflicts if we don't agree about something. So it's easier now, I believe, but always there are conflicts.
All right. Bit of watered down question. Answer. Let me dive a little bit deeper there. So I think that when you're friends, you know each other intimately, and that allows you to confront each other much more easily than if you were somebody who met together and were sort of a perfect pair on the paper. And it's easy to operate when you're that perfect pair on the paper, but startups go through hard times. And when you go through hard times, that leads to a lot of disagreement on how to get out of those hard times. And because you know each other, and when people know each other, it's much easier for them to have a conflict, have an argument, because bottom down, they know that they have a relationship which they can kind of revert back to. And if you don't have that, then that conflict defines that relationship.
I think Roy and I had a very good starting point. Like I'm gonna go back to the romantic story. Like we were very good friends, and it was all easy, and it was obvious for us that we could work together. But in the first year, especially, was extremely hard. We had a bunch of hurdles, and also you're kind of like teaching the machine how to work, and a part of it was how are we having conflicts, which people, like what he said, we're bringing into the circle, and it was just like a learning process. It was a learning curve that's still on the making. We're constantly working on our relationship, how we talk to each other, what kind of forums, what are the processes of having an argument. So I think like it's a never-ending mission to improve, and now we're also in the point that we are working with the leadership team and the leaders in the company on how to mediate conflicts within their group of people, with their teams, in their tribes. So we're still noobs. We're learning all the time.
You know, it's a funny story of Maor and I are friends, and my wife also knows Maor, of course. I know Maor actually from my wife's brother. So sometimes I'm coming home and tell her, listen, I have a big disagreement with Maor. We had a clash, and she is telling me, listen, let me talk to him. I will give him a call. I say, no. We will solve it.
That's funny. What do you think most founders misunderstand about choosing a perfect business partner?
There is no perfect business partner.
That's the misunderstanding.
Yeah, I think first of all, I don't know. I don't have enough data, but I think many are looking for the matching LinkedIn profile, and they haven't spent enough time with each other and working with each other and being friends and understanding that from now on, when you're founding a company, that's your life, that's your people. You need to love having spending time with them, to working with them, that you appreciate their opinion. And I think that many founders just jumping into the sack of starting something and idealizing what it is to build a company without thinking of the repercussions.
And how do you keep that communication during those high pressure conflict periods?
That depends when you're asking.
A lot of respect. We know what's the strength of each other. We got help from our people, from our leadership. A lot of help to settle down disagreements. I think this is it.
But would you say that conflict is inherently good or bad?
It is good. I wouldn't define it as conflict. Like thoughtful disagreements are very, very healthy. We're challenging each other constantly, and sometimes it's heating up. But I think we've learned, and also many people in our team have learned, that when are we too emotional? So it's like, okay, let's give it the space. Like even if I think I'm right, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna bring it back tomorrow. So you kind of like learning the people you're working with.
Yeah, my personal finding is that I feel like a lot of companies are afraid of conflict internally, and that bottles down the feelings, and people don't actually talk about the things that are important because they're afraid of the argument and what that argument and that conflict could do to their company.
It doesn't exist in the Israeli startup culture.
Yeah, it's unavoidable.
Yeah,
you can't avoid it.
Very straightforward, very loud.
Yeah.
We're working on the other way around.
Yeah.
Be more subtle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Move slower. Okay.
Not slower, faster, but more quiet.
Yeah, I understand. Let's talk about first-time founder and second-time founder energy. So, Maor, you're a second-time founder.
So I don't feel like a second-time founder. Appcharge, my first startup, it was bootstrapped, maximum 24 people. More or less the same people all along the way after the first year. it had its challenges, but it was different. And Appcharge were almost 120 people, so it is one big group, global group, by the way. In Apppush, we were in the same location, same office. Now in Appcharge, it's, I would say, 7 locations, different culture, different groups, and you need to make the different groups of people work together and communicate. So, and also we're in Appcharge. Clearly, we have investors and a board of directors. So it's all new to me. I'm a student. I'm enjoying it. I'm having the delight to learn something new every day.
Game devs. Here at Heroic Labs, we know that great gameplay is what players love, but integrating metagame features like challenges, progression, and rewards is crucial for retention and monetization. But coding them is a tedious and time-consuming process. That's why top studios have turned to Hero from Heroic Labs. Hero provides a complete suite of battle-tested metagame features that are quick to implement, letting you spend more time on the core gameplay experience. Ready to ship fully featured, engaging games? Check out Hero today at heroiclabs.com.
But by definition, that still makes you a second-time founder because you've built a company, though it was of a different scale. You've still built a company that still exists, still employs people, and it's, bootstrapped. I understand there's so many new things here, but that still makes you a second-time founder.
True.
But I like the mentality where you're taking this as a rookie still.
I think one of the upsides is not having the same pressure to succeed. Apppush was acquired by a public company, so I think the credit of being successful once also gives you the jumping board to dream bigger, and that's something big that I've gotten from Apppush as well.
Yeah. And just looking at the data here, it's like first-time founder have a success rate of 18%, second-time founders of 20%, and it goes to, I think, just looking at the data, founders who succeeded in prior venture have success rate of approximately 30% in their next venture. So what you're saying is actually defensible by the statistics. When you don't have that pressure to succeed, it actually makes you significantly more likely to succeed in your next venture. What do you think that is?
I think both the experience and the freedom to dream bigger again. I think the combination of the two it's just that's the magic trick for a second-time founder that have succeeded in their previous round. Is
there an element of a confidence that comes through that as well?
Yes, as well.
So confidence in the decisions that you make, you believe that they are right because you've made decisions before and they prove to be right.
Yes, but confidence is dangerous. It needs to come with humility.
Yeah.
As a founder, you have to be receptive. You have to be attentive. You need to be open for feedback, even though you've done it right once in certain thing. It doesn't mean you know it all. Clearly, you need to. And I think that's also a lesson that I've learned from working with people.
Yeah.
Like just be a good team player. Be human first. Work together. Trust your people. Trust your team. And I think that was an important lesson of working in a team for a long time.
I can attest to that. This morning on breakfast, you said the first question that you asked was like, "What are we not doing right about Appcharge?" From me, I was kind of, I can attest to that. What you're saying is actually what you do in practice. Where can we be better?
Thank you.
Always.
Yeah.
We're always asking ourselves give us a feedback. Yeah. Give us the hard feedback.
Despite the success and the rapid growth.
What can we do better?
Well, Roei, talk to me about being a first-time founder.
So the entrepreneurial spirit is something that if you have it, you have it. Like it's inside you. It lives inside you. I started to develop games and do my own stuff when I was it was 15 years ago. It was always side by side with a day job. I tried to take it up, but it never succeeded. So I always knew that I will do something that will be big. And if I look retrospectively, if I was a good founder 15 years ago and I could establish a company, so I think I wasn't experienced enough. I think now is the it better time for me, like in terms of experience, in terms of what I did in my career, to be a founder and to start a company. One of the decisions that led me, one of the inputs that led me to take the decision to start Appcharge is that Maor is a second timer. It's one of the inputs, not all of them, of course. And of course, it's our chances are better. And he has the experience of what I do not know about entrepreneurship, and I can learn from him.
It doesn't feel this way. Like I'm learning a lot from him. He's seen bigger companies than I did, like all along the way. So
yeah, but he's looking at you as a second-time founder,
and I'm looking at him as the guy with the experience from the bigger companies, because I've never worked in a big company, and Roei is bringing all this accumulative like time and experience from Moonactive and Autodesk and Amdocs, and he was a programmer in the army, so he worked in big teams. I didn't have this experience.
No. Well, here's the thing. You two are very different in your, not lifestyle, but your personal life. Meaning that Maor, single guy, you can get fully obsessed by the company. This is your baby. And you have two babies. Not babies, two daughters, and a family and a wife. And so that puts you in a very different of a situation. And Roei, I'm kind of like interested to hearing like, how are you like, you can't balance it. When you put yourself into the company, you become worse of a father and worse of a husband. And when you give back to you being better, father, better husband, then you're a worse entrepreneur. Do you see it that way, or like, how do you balance this?
First of all, I took the decision to start something together with my wife. She actually pushed me. We were talking about, listen, we're going to have our second daughter 3 years ago. Startup, I'm married also to the company. So you will have to take care of the kids. I will be less at home. And we kind of set expectations between us, and she understand it, I understand it, and she gave me the green light and actually the push. Go, do it. I'm behind you. I'll do whatever it takes to take care of the family. So we knew and we set good expectations before we started. Now it's hard. It's hard to be married to the company and married to the family.
You're doing it very well.
And trying. And improving, but it's hard. It's a hard situation.
I don't see it that way. I am more in an affluence mindset. I think, first of all, obsession is a characteristics. If you're obsessed with work, probably you're obsessed with your daughters, with your family, with how things are conducted. So it's a matter of trait that you choose to foster or not. And I think that, like in everything in life, like if you are choosing to excel, doesn't matter if it's sports or music, work, once you're in this mindset as a human being, you are like that in every aspect in your life. You're trying to be, at least. And I know for Roei example, like the family is the most important thing for him. And work as well, as important. Second, just a little bit less, but family is number one. So he's obsessed on both, and he finds the time. And you have like you have so much time. You're just learning to optimize, and if it's in the top of your priority, you're getting better at it.
Yeah, I will continue from where I stopped. So it's hard, but I'm trying to do my best to be at home as much as I can. For example, with my daughters and my wife. For example, leave half an hour before they are going to sleep to be with them at home, and then they are going to sleep, and I'm continuing working from home, or during weekends. So in the weekends, I'm theirs. Like I'm with them, taking them to attractions, taking them to travel. So it's their time with me, my time with them, actually. Trying to be only with them. Of course, there are distractions. We are founders, but this is the way to balance for me for now.
Using clunky payment systems in your game, that's like fighting a boss with a wooden sword. Appcharge gives you the power-up you need. Seamless in-app purchases, global payments, and analytics that don't require a PhD. Monetize smarter, not harder. Appcharge, because your game deserves better loot.
In today's hyper-competitive digital landscape, understanding your app's journey from discovery to download isn't just insightful.
Are you able to compartmentalize? Because that was at least my challenge, meaning that when you are with your kids, for example, and you know that this is their time, I get back to work in half an hour, in an hour, whatever it is, like a short amount of time. Are you able to distance yourself from the problems that are happening with the company, or are you still distracted by it while being with either your wife or the kids?
I think most of the time I succeed.
How do you do that?
Just try to put out my phone, be with them in the playing room. It's not sometimes you have big problems that you have to take care of, but try to disconnect for half an hour and be with them for an hour. To be with them, this is their time with me. It's important for me, for them, and I'm trying to consistently do it.
What's the name of your wife?
Eilat.
Shout out to Eilat. She's giving the support.
For sure.
Great.
For sure.
Let's return back. So, Maor, how do you compartmentalize? Like, how do you not get lost into building? Because I know, bad example for me, but I know that if I'm out without the family, they might be somewhere. I could spend the whole day working and just like kind of get lost into what I'm doing.
I am lost in what I'm doing. Permanently online.
Yeah, no, but like,
basically,
but that's also unhealthy, because oftentimes you get your best ideas and the best breakthroughs where you kind of pull yourself out of it. And how are you able not to get totally sucked into what you're doing? Because the amount of work you have in any startups, the amount of work you have cannot be finished.
I think you should treat yourself with the me time, or when you are disconnected and being present in something else. But it's true for every action that you take during the day. If you're able to be fully present in what you do and not letting the phone distract you, and it's really admirable how Roei is doing it. I'm obsessed with the phone. I'm trying to have less screen time. I'm kind of like on top of it, like trying to be. It's like a diet. It's like a phone diet. Like, be less on the phone. Only, not less on the phone. Yes, on the phone for business, but less on the pickups or the scrolling or just checking things like obsessively distracted. I think that's the way to do it. And besides of that, for me, it's easier without a family to preserve to do the things you love. Bring them even into the business, trying to blend it into the company, to forge it into the company's DNA. That's what we're trying to do.
So you're not particularly looking to compartmentalize. You're rather trying to build like a holistic system where you're constantly working and it doesn't feel like work.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. So, all right, moving on. Let's talk about the speed and the velocity and the momentum that Appcharge is having. So you've raised multiple consecutive rounds. Round B was just a while ago. Before that, round A, what was the time difference? 7 months between those two rounds? Big rounds big investors, growing the team, growing the client base. What enabled you to raise so fast and so quickly in the repetitive rounds?
So I don't remember where I've heard it, but it takes 10 years to succeed overnight. So it took like 3 years to do this overnight. I think we have laid the foundations from day one, and we've worked hard all the way. It just didn't bear fruits immediately. And once it rains, it pours. Like, I think we've used the momentum, and we were working hard towards it all the way. And we were very lucky to have the momentum and the right team to do so.
Yeah, because the first time I met you was in Singapore in 2022. And it took a while before, like, there was actually a couple of years of hiatus. I thought he was too cool. The other Maor and me were like, who is this guy? Because you made us look bad. You were fasting. There was like all that. And you had a friend with you. We were like, damn.
I remember.
Yeah, but there was 2 years that went between that. So there was that building time that people
2 years of wooing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 2 years, yeah. How do you raise these consecutive rounds? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you show?
I think it's combination of building a great team relatively fast, bring the best people we can to the company to help us to build fast. Innovative, be innovative, and hear feedbacks from everywhere. What we can do better, what we are doing good, and what we should continue. But I think it mostly because of the team, the velocity that the team help us to achieve. Product-wise, the skills, the sales, the business development skills that Maor led and still leading at the first time by himself, and later on with the help of great business development guys.
Stay ahead of the competition with Sensor Tower, the trusted source for mobile marketing intelligence. Whether you're tracking trends, benchmarking performance, or scouting the next big hit, Sensor Tower delivers the data that drives strategy. Dominate the charts with Sensor Tower.
So I think this helps us to move fast, grow fast, and acquire customers.
What's most important for the investors when you're looking at it? Because like from the outside, people looking in, they would say, okay, they go out and they raise around, good investors, and the news like 6 months later, they raise another round. Like, are they burning so much money? Why do the investors believe in them so much? So tell me a little bit about what people are not seeing.
First of all, investors, especially the top tier funds, they're smart people.
Yeah,
so
funds.
you show everything. You're opening the kimono. You need to be able to have the visibility to show everything as fast as possible to a new person that comes in, and they're gonna see the rest, and they're gonna examine first and foremost the TAM, how big the market is, the team, where you at in the race, and are you going to be the winner of this race? I think the other things are technicalities. They want to see that you and the team are people that are able to work with, that are receptive for feedback, and you're constantly improving. And also, they're gonna check up on you. They're gonna see that the promises you have made were actually made with time. You've delivered.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Team,
think just
velocity.
Be yourself. It's like a dating tip, show everything as fast as possible, because it's going to come up.
How does it feel like to go through so many due diligences back to back?
I'll take it again to the dating world. It's like a speed dating. Like eventually it's you're practicing and being good at it to make it visible as fast as possible, to have references, to have the clients that you're working with to talk freely and to refer which is one of the most important things. They actually want to hear from your clients if they're happy with the product and the service. Do they trust you? Do they see this relationship as a long-term one?
Mostly founders hear no. You've probably heard no a lot of times. How does it feel to take a no? Like, what do you do after getting a no?
You take the pinch, right? and you take another no and another no and another no, and then it's not so painful anymore. It's a part of the drill.
But it is. When somebody says no, they say no because I don't believe in you. That's a pretty personal thing. I know that it's made as not personal, but a founder takes it personally.
It's all personal.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Most of the time, VCs will come with they will give you a feedback of what is missing for them. And most of the time it will be valuable, and then you understand it's not personal, but there are some things that are really missing for them. But you understand as a founder that you will get much more no's than yeses, and you learn how to live with it. You learn what you need to improve in order to get the next yes. But this is the founder's life. And I think that regarding your question for how we got the fundraising so fast, so I think it's a combination of three important topics. First of all is the team. Second is the right time in the right place, and the growth velocity of the company. I think this is the combination of those three things who led us to.
I wrote down team, TAM, velocity, and timing.
Yes.
When those things come together, you've hit the jackpot.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I think that in the beginnings, you're getting way more no's. Like if you're in an advanced stage of the company and you're getting like market dominance, you get more inbounds. Probably Chris Voss, right? He says that there are like 3 types of no's. And it's good. It's just the starting point of the negotiation. And many times with the VCs, it's just not right now. And then you're starting to negotiate. And we've had it, like so many no's that eventually turned out to be yes. We were consistent and we were insisting on getting the yes from these angels or from these VCs. And only later on you get a lot of inbounds that we want to invest in VCs to wing you. But in the beginning, you're getting no, and it's just a part of it, and you need to negotiate forward from there.
How do you negotiate from no to a yes?
You understand the pain points, like why, like actually the worst thing, by the way, also by Chris was like to get a fake yes. Yes, and they ghost on you.
Oh, come back when you have a lead.
Yeah. Like,
that's a fake yes.
That's the worst because you have nowhere to negotiate. Like they're lying into your face. Yeah, and no, it's like okay, so I'm open for feedback. Yeah. Why not? What would make you invest? Like what would make you invest right now if I would have had what? And then you understand where to take it from there.
I will add on top of it, like you should have the positive mindset. It's a funny story. Like it's both for VCs or for potential clients that we are going to have. So Maor and I are taking calls, and sometimes we're finishing the call by me as a very realistic and foot on the ground person. I think, of course, it was awful. They would never take us. Like they would never say yes. And he is telling me, "What are you talking about? They are interesting. They're fully interested into us." So I'm asking myself, have we been at the same call right now? So
usually he's right though, but like
you're in a right way delusional.
Yeah, but it takes only a one yes.
Yeah.
It emphasizes the difference between us and the how we complement each other, like and how we help each other to improve all the time.
I think Maor, you gave a really good advice because essentially the way you're approaching it is you're trying to understand what they're buying, and so before even getting to selling. That's what most people forget about when they're in these situations. I wanted to ask you, like, you've raised a lot of capital. Are there any hidden risks with too much capital?
there are. We are aware of them by the books. We haven't experienced them yet, so I don't want to share just the experience of others because we've just recently raised and we're trying to make the best out of it. I think one of the, again, humility, being modest, foot on the ground. It's like it is a win. You need to celebrate wins, but it's just one out of wins. It's not the big win, and you just need to keep on the hard work and look at people in the eye and keep on working hard.
You're very clear on what founders should do between the rounds because you are able to move from one round to another. Tell me what founders should not be doing between rounds.
Give up.
Give up? No, but if you have a successful round, hardly people give up after a successful round.
You mean I thought depends between which rounds.
Between the rounds of raising. So you are doing the right things, but what are the things that you feel like people are doing wrong between the rounds they raise?
It really depends on the stage of the company. So between our seed round and our A round, we had a shot of raising once that we've failed. Okay, so it was very easy to give up. Like the numbers were not there yet, and we tried to raise money, and we've approached many VCs, and we got only no's. So it's like, okay, we've learned that we need to take a pause, work on ourselves, on the numbers, on the team, and get back more ready to combat this round. And I think in later stages, when you're capital affluent, it's really a matter of asking yourself, the founders and the team, like where do we want to get? Like what's our dream? And then if you want to raise another round, or I don't know, maybe you want to go public, maybe you want to get acquired. So it really depends on the phase of the company and the founders and the team, clearly.
Web stores. You've seen what good looks like. But have you seen great? Appcharge is the direct-to-consumer platform backed by the likes of Supercell and built by monetization pros from Moon Active, Playtika, Huge Games, and others. People who know the difference. Appcharge powers over $500 million in transaction a year for top studios, optimizing every detail. Deeply personalized web store offers custom-made design, industry-leading monetization features, in-game payments, SDK, and more. 70% of top grossing games already have a web store, but the ones scaling fastest, they're doing it with Appcharge. Learn more at appcharge.com.
If I can say one thing not to do is to go to another fundraise too early. Think about the numbers that you want to have. You want to put a targets, and then once you get to your targets, go to taste the water and talk to one or two investors and ask their opinion and their feedback. Get their feedback. Do your homework again and think if this is the right time, or you should wait. You should change the target. I think this is important.
So basically, close the lead before you start the round.
Yes.
Mark your targets.
Yes.
Like, who is the dream investor? Like, what do you want? Aim for it,
and then build for them.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move back to the product. Web shops, commoditized. Would you agree?
Depends which kind of web shops. We call it web store, by the way.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
What do people get wrong about that? Because like what we're seeing in the news is there's new web store provider every month, or pretty much everybody has one. What separates them? What are the moats between the different web stores?
So wait, just one step at a time. So people are getting wrong with web stores that it's just a landing page, but industry professionals and experts have no mistakes. It's just like building almost another game on the web. It's a complicated task. We have top tier engineers working rigorously, constantly in Tel Aviv on making the best product. And we have so much to do. And once you understand that you need the expertise and the engineering power and the product power and simultaneously give the best service possible, it's not such an easy task for a company that it's not its core product. In theory, everybody knows what needs to be done, but to build it and to cater it fast to your teams, it's very hard. And this is our core business, and we're still far from perfect.
So we Appcharge started from a pain we experienced, and we knew that there is a gap in the market.
So pain that you experienced in a company.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we wanted to build a platform that can take any publisher in the world within days to a global launch and approaching all users all over the world. I think it evolves since then, and it's not only about a web shop fully monetized with all the monetization features that we brought to the web shop from our experience from the in-game. It's now more than a direct to D2C suite of products that within very few APIs you can connect to all of them. So it started with a web shop and continue to a checkout gateway, and then a game portal that you can create and manage connection to your community, and payment links for direct checkout. So it's one suite of products that takes you all the way direct to consumer and provide you all the tools you need to go direct to consumer fast.
So this suite of products, essentially the expertise of your team, is the moat of Appcharge.
Yes.
How does that moat is seen in the return on investment from your clients?
Game developers are extremely smart and data driven. I think it's a very sophisticated client with a lot of demands. Also, the scale is there due to the nature of the business. And I think that eventually the numbers will talk. You need to show results. You're going to be measured. You're going to be measured against an in-house solution or another solution or against the industry benchmark. So the moat is going to be expressed in the numbers. That's first and foremost. We have many case studies. So, for example, one of our bigger clients, they had their own in-house solution they've built for a couple of years with a massive team, over 35 people. And we were begging them just to let's do a POC, let us show our strength. And we have managed to build for them a web store that's twice as successful, and eventually the underlying cost was cheaper for them if you take in on the account the headcount, and the results were 2x like in a year. Today they're more than 3x than what they had back then in the in-house solution. Another two of our top clients were working with the competition. Also, it started with a small game. We asked them just to for a proof of concept. We wanted like 4 months trial, and we were giving them the product and a discount just for the trial on the small game, and we've proven the results pretty swiftly. And they were smart. They just looked at the matrix. For them, it was clear. Also, the factor of service and trust was there, so they trusted us. We delivered what we promised on time. We didn't have any hidden costs in the contract. Nothing was unexpected. We were there, and there were like hurdles on the way, and we stood for them, and we were flexible. So I think that's what made a difference.
In the game of growth, everyone is looking for that power up. Vibes is exactly that. It's built by industry people, so they actually get the challenges you're dealing with. As a result, they become the fastest growing gamified rewards platform out there. And the results are kind of nuts. With their AI powered targeting, you're not just buying installs, you're bringing in the right players. And now they've got this new ROAS optimization engine, so your campaigns basically level up automatically. Vibes is built different. It's designed for growth. And I guess you could say it's powered by good vibes. Check out their DOF exclusive case studies by following the link in the description. And go to vybs.co. That's vybs.co. Share your email and join the waitlist list.
In my opinion, it comes down to ROI, positive or negative. And if we can break it down, it's three main aspects. First of all, the labor cost that they are invest in order to operate direct to consumer. Second one is performance. This is our work to constantly improve performance of the direct to consumer, adding more features, letting them use more services in order to optimize their direct to consumer. And the third one is a focus. Gaming companies should focus on making the best games, releasing the best monetization features to monetize their game and to make their players happy. This is their main focus, and not to build a direct-to-consumer suite of services because it's matter of ROI, and if it's positive and with Appcharge, with buying a platform, so this is the way to go.
And how do you?
I want to double down on what Roei said. He's totally right on focus. Eventually, game builders, they want to focus on building games, just like you said, Roei, and they want a long-lasting partnership that they believe that are going to be stable and going to evolve with time, because there is a big cost, like for exchange. The instability has a cost, and most developers understand that. I don't want to exchange vendor every year or every couple of years. I want someone I can trust and I know I can run with on the long term.
Is it difficult to have those conversations of build versus buy? Because oftentimes larger companies have their bigger central tech teams that sometimes rightly so believe they can build anything, which is true. They can believe everything. But what they oftentimes don't think about, again, working with a bunch of our clients, is that what it takes to maintain and evolve, and what are the real costs of building, and whether they can actually succeed to be even on parity with a company that its sole focus is building and servicing clients that they will lose unless they have the best possible solution. So how do you kind of overcome those conversations where internally, I would assume the CTOs would be of an opinion that, hey, I mean, this is not that difficult. It's a payment solution. Like, come on, we can do this.
First of all, you're right. Gaming companies are highly sophisticated companies who has a great technology and the data-driven systems and take decisions upon data. So they can build it for themselves. And again, it comes down to a focus. Now, if you're focusing or defocusing from what you're doing in your game, is it worth for you? Yes, no? This is the question. Now, before Appcharge, there was no good solutions or platform in the market to build direct-to-consumer. Now, it's very easy. Now, you can be up and running within days with worldwide reach to all to all players, to all your players. And one more thing is the alternative cost they are losing while they are not using a platform and building it for few months or more than that. So it has alternative costs and it's high. And I think this is something they should take into account.
Exactly my words. Like what I wanted to say, alternative costs. Many teams not taking under the account the alternative cost. It's like, hey, I can do it, but what could have you done instead? And I think one of the main competitors are the central tech teams in the games themselves, in the bigger studios. And we just need to be better, like to be more cost efficient, more featured, more nimble, and to deliver better results that we are going to be measured. And once you're proving this, and by the way, it's not easy. It's easier said than done. It's hard to prove it from distance without examining. It's quite of an integration. So you need to create the trust, and you need to have the case studies to show that you're proving your point. And the more case studies that we have accumulated, the easier it was for us to prove the point.
Yeah, I think what Roei said is a really important notion, is that the central tech teams are there for a reason. And they're a reason to service the games and make sure they run smoothly, and they have all the essential tech stack developed, evolved, and at superiority. And the conversation is like, is this the part that should be part of your core competences, or is this the part that is something you can just buy and put in because it's not your core competence, web stores?
True.
It could be a part of their core competence, and we can work along. We have a suite of solutions. So maybe this one of the specific products they've already built and they want to keep, but they're going to use some of our other products. So we always find the creative way and to make them feel that we're a trustworthy partner, that we're flexible enough to work with them, and we're just here to be partners and not to compete with them internally.
That's a smart position. Let me talk about your team. So the team is the core competence, or the core resource, or the enabler of Appcharge. But your HQ, your development hub, is based out of Tel Aviv, which is one of the most competitive hubs for tech talent. How are you able to compete and get the best of the talent in a city that has research and development for every single big tech company out there, from Microsoft to Amazon to OpenAI to you name it?
Shout out to the Appcharge team in Tel Aviv and across the world. So I've been to one of our investors conference in Amsterdam of IVP, and our board member Eric said something smart. Like, once you're in Silicon Valley, you're actually competing with all these big names with their HQ, like OpenAI and Google, and you're like ate in the buffet to compete with engineers. And I think that in Tel Aviv, the magic of being a part of a local startup that's promising and potentially could be one of the top startups in Tel Aviv is very appealing to the top engineers. We are competing with Google and Meta, and we are winning. And I think that's a blessing that we have in Tel Aviv. And thankfully, some of the world's top talents, both in product engineering and mobile gaming and monetization and fintech, is in Tel Aviv. So we are competing with the top companies in Tel Aviv. And I think for us as non-locals in SF or in the Valley would be almost impossible to do so. And in Tel Aviv, we are successfully building the kind of culture that people want to be a part of. And that's what enables us to compete with these companies in our hometown.
And so you've scaled a lot, and you talk about culture. How does this culture that you've built in the HQ and Development Hub travel across different countries and continents? Like, what is appealing in Tel Aviv might be totally different than what is appealing in the new office you set up. Like, now you set up an office in Helsinki. I think you're setting up an office in Istanbul next.
Yes.
That's actually quite similar of a culture. But but China, you have an office there. Like, how do you make that cultural travel across the borders and making it international rather than local?
First and foremost, the mission. I think the mission is appealing to all people across the world. It's a Robin Hood mission. Direct to consumer, override the mediator, make the market more effective, and this 30% pain is a real pain that still exists. And I think that people and like industry leaders can relate to all across the world. So the mission is first and foremost. And I think the second thing is values. We're looking for certain people with the same core values, that they see the world in the same glance that we do. And once you're following the mission and the values, I think it's going to gel with the culture. And once you're following this a Bible of a company, of what's your mission, what are your values, these are the kind of people I'm looking for, it's going to gel. And clearly it's a lot of work. Like it evolves all the way.
What are those core values?
So teamwork, one of our core values is it's your company too.
What does that mean?
Have ownership of the company. Don't look at things as the individual. Look at it as a group and own it.
So it's kind of like Supercell has, was it company first, then team, then yourself? So sometimes you make a decision that might not be the best for you, might be even the best for the team, but it's best for the company.
That's a good one. For another value that we mark is say yes first. Say yes. It's the opposite of, if someone comes to a team member and ask, can I have your help? And, there is a joke and the answer is no, what do you need? So exactly the opposite. The answer is yes, what do you need? This is the mindset we would like to have in our culture, in each and every team member we have. We believe it helps teamwork and innovative and creative mindset and thinking, and work together. This is something that's very important for us.
Also, constant innovation and transparency. Also, two values that we foster a lot. I think it's less about the coffee slogans. It's more of how you conduct business and how you actually manage your teams and how you work on the day-to-day. So this is the kind of values we are trying to project in our day-to-day work.
Mm. And so you're scaling fast. How does leadership change as you're scaling from 30 people? 24 was your max amount. Now 30, 40, just a year ago. Now you're over 100. That's over like a 3x growth. The company is growing on not only in terms of headcounts, but also in terms of location, time zones, continents, different cultures, different languages. How does that force you as the leadership team to evolve?
When you're a smaller team, a management team as well, and you're sitting in the same office, it's easier to transform information. You can make decisions on a hallway talk, over a coffee, and this doesn't exist anymore. What we're doing now, and especially when the management team grew bigger, and it's not all in Tel Aviv anymore. We've had Paul Bowen and David Stelzer joining us in the US. So we need to be very careful in how we align, how we meet, what are the processes, how we document everything, how we conduct and how we follow up. It has a cost to have a global team that's not speaking your native language anymore. So everything should be more in order. It has to have a protocol and a procedure, and I think Roei is leading it very well. Like the processes of how we make decisions, how we transform information, how we follow up, and how we measure it. So now measurement is also, it's an important part of it. Like it could be just not like a discussion of a big fluff. Like how do we measure what we've managed to take out of this call, like of the meeting, of what we want to accomplish? How do we check ourselves?
Does it worry you in any way that the company slips into a corporation? Like sometimes you're just chasing that growth and that size, and then before you know it, you have all these processes. It's not anymore as loose, as friendly. It has these silos, and then you're solving a totally different problems. Like I know you had you haven't worked at a corporations. That's why Roei is smiling, because he's like, damn, yeah, that's scary. For you, that might sound fun. But does that kind of like, Roei, sit in the back of your mind is like, how do we avoid from becoming that corporation, becoming that incumbent, and staying agile and hungry all the time?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like for for some people, corporate can sound like a curse, but there are good things, some good things in corporate, and I think if you adopt the necessary processes and the good processes from a corporate and mixing it up with startup culture and innovation culture, this is the best way to win. Like, take the good things for the corporate, don't make it too hard to move things forward, because sometimes corporate can be very political about doing things, and that's makes them takes more time to achieve things. So combining these two good processes, the crucial processes from corporate, with innovative mindset and a fast pace and velocity, this is the best combination.
So hiring against the values that you've outlined.
Totally. I think it's like this like oxymoron of like a consistent inconsistency, structured startup mode, and I think that's what we're trying to accomplish.
But there is no way to scale that fast without processes. Like once you are 30, 40, maybe you can run fast. No, a lot of processes. Now, in order to scale, we are now 130 globally, and we are and we are growing fast. So you must have the foundations of the processes in order to scale fast, to build the mid management well in order to scale. This is what we're working on right now.
All right, let's take it home. I got one question for each of you. So let's start with Maor. What are the 2 things second-time founders should obsess over?
Carefully choose the people that you're gonna march on this journey with, especially in the beginning. Like, understand what kind of traits and what kind of values you're looking into the person. You're going into this very long and hard journey together. Second thing is the mission. For me, at least, the first was all about going and independent, building a startup, and succeed, to win. It was about winning, the first one. Second one, it was the mission and the win, both. Like, not either, both. Like am I connected to the mission? Am I proud in what I'm doing? Do I like to tell about people and to tag them along to the mission that I'm doing? Would have I ask my sister to join because I believe in that mission and what we're doing and what to accomplish? For me, the answer was yes.
Makes sense.
Would I ask my best friends to join along because I believe in what we do? The answer is yes.
Thank you. Roei, one question. What is the one thing you wish somebody have told you earlier before you became a founder?
I have 3.
Okay. Wow. Well, give me 3.
3 advices. First of all, connected to what Maor said, build the best team you can. Bring the best people to work with you and to march this journey together with you. Second thing is take a mentor, a good mentor that will help you, that, stepped into your steps right now, and maybe did some mistakes that you are going to do right now, and maybe avoid them, try to avoid them. And the third thing is celebrate success.
True that.
We, as a founders, we don't have many successes right now. But once you have them, celebrate it with your co-founder, with your team, and emphasize that there are success in our journey, and it's important.
Well, thank you too. It's been fascinating to see this journey from the sidelines since 2022, watching it grow from the humble but passionate beginnings to this meteoric rise, and still early in your journey. You're two very, very different founders, and the way you work together is perfectly building on top of each other's strengths and covering each other's weaknesses. So it's always fascinating to talk to you, and I'm always rooting for your success, and can't wait to for Appcharge to be 10x of what it is today. So thank you so much for sharing your story thus far.
Thank you, Mishka.
Thank you so much, Mishka.
Very appreciative for you and the constructor of fun.
Thank you.
You did it. You made it to the end of the episode. As a fan of the show, it would help us out if you'd subscribe and leave us a review on the podcast service of your choice. Those stars and likes, while a small action on your part, mean a lot to us and help to grow the show. More importantly, are you a member of the Deconstructor of Fun Slack group? If you have 5 years or more of games industry experience, go to deconstructoroffun.com/Slack and apply to join. Join the games industry best professional community filled with peers always willing to lend a hand, or subscribe to our newsletter to get all the latest insights from the Deconstructor of Fun content creators. Thanks for listening.